word on Dharmendra Pradhan.
Yeah.
You know, election in charge of Haryana. He doesn't give interviews, doesn't speak much. He was camping in Kurukshetra, in the entire Panchkula area and in Rohtak. And he gave confidence to the party leadership. I mean, he's a nuts and bolts man. I mean, completely different picture he presented to the party from the numbers. Just look at this.
Wherever he has led the party campaign, he has always been somebody who has been a very low-key operator,
Yes.
never coming before the media, but understanding the ground reality as it is. That is something that he has been known for.
Yeah.
And we are still unsure as to which direction the Haryana result would go, because you have very, very small margins and just 2 rounds or 3 rounds of counting. But whichever way it goes, I think clearly the BJP has performed or is performing in a manner which is very different from what a lot of people expected it to. Definitely not the way the exit polls thought that this election
Maria,
would go.
before you go to Pradeep Bhandari, let me just put out one more interesting data point at this moment, which is coming in from Haryana. Because the assumption was, and you heard that Bhupendra Hooda supporter saying, "Abhi gaon ke vote khulne do, hum aage nikal jayenge." At this moment, even in the rural belt,
it's not.
the Congress and the BJP are even keen. They're 28 playing 28 in the rural belt, while the BJP has an advantage of 20 seats over the Congress party in the urban area. So they have held on to their stronghold, and they have not done badly in the rural areas, which usually we used to see a contest between the INLD and the Congress and the JJP and the Congress. So while the decimation of the JJP might have helped the Congress consolidate the vote, but the BJP has become the party, in fact, the only poll against which the Congress is fighting, even in the rural areas.
Absolutely.
They have been able to hold on to the rural areas as well.
You know, Pradeep, the point here is that this is the biggest surprise for the party, perhaps as well. But you have leaders who are solid backroom workers who ensure that they can turn the tide. This is essentially will be seen as turning of the tide. From the Lok Sabha polls to now, even in Lok Sabha, you had a loss of 4 to 5 seats in Haryana. Just look at the results. If these numbers hold, it's 11-15 already. Not much of the trend will change post now. But this is good news for the BJP. It's a hat trick for you in Haryana.
It's historic.
Well, Maria, what is happening is historic, because never in the history of Haryana, as Ankit was saying, that any government is repeated for the 3rd consecutive time. We are very, very confident that this trend will stay, because all the close margin seats are evenly poised. This is because of the developmental work of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, which is supported by the entire party machinery. Every individual in the party, Dharmendra Pradhan ji is the election in charge, Home Minister Amit Shah ji managing it, JP Nadda ji ensuring that the party is absolutely on track. So we were very, very confident since the start that the ground on Haryana, the 36 Biradari in Haryana, the poor in Haryana is with us, and this is where we were confident. Even in the Lok Sabha elections, Maria, if you see, we had a 3% increase in more vote share than the Congress party. That projection is what is happening right now in the Haryana Assembly elections, where we are leading with the Congress party with that significant vote share and seat share margin. So the one part is to get the Jat-dominated vote. Even in the Jat votes, if you see, the perception was that the entire vote will shift to the Congress party. But now on the ground, we are also getting significant part of Jat vote. This establishes that we've got a cross-caste vote, and what the Congress party was saying, that the women are with them, the farmers are with them, the Chhattis Biradari is with them,
the SCs.
the wrestlers are with them. All of this is completely fallen flat on the ground.
Yes, you know, Pradeep, you make an interesting point. Then I'll bring in Professor Sandeep Shastri here. You know, Professor Sandeep Shastri, in the Lok Sabha polls, we did see that shift of the Dalit voters. That Dalit vote is back with the BJP.
But can I just make one distinction here? Even with the Dalit vote, even in the Lok Sabha, the Valmikis were still with the BJP. They did not shift to the Congress party. And also the Jatav vote, which was the BSP vote, stayed with the BJP. The challenge for the Congress party was to ensure that the Ramdasiya still vote for them and they get a chunk of the Valmiki vote as well. But Professor Shastri, like Maria was saying, if you map this according to the Lok Sabha election 2024, the BJP was 44-seat advantage, the Congress was 42-seat advantage. It almost, I mean, the BJP is at this moment +4, but it almost is playing exactly like the Lok Sabha election. So it was not disadvantage to the Congress party. They were not being able to gain on that momentum.
Undoubtedly, if these results hold, the trends hold, what it clearly shows is the consolidation which the Congress was hoping in the Jat vote has not happened, because the INLD has been able to snatch off a part of it. And secondly, the non-Jat vote, reference here to the vote of the scheduled castes and the others, has consolidated in favor of the BJP. Yes, there may be the various segments within the scheduled caste vote, a part of which going to the Congress, but the BJP has been able to perform well among the non-Jat votes, and that is clearly reflected in the trends. And if these trends hold, that social coalition which the BJP was able to build seems to have been would be responsible for the numbers that we are seeing.
I think one important factor, especially in the Jat belt that we are talking about, and like I said, over 30 seats where the Jat population is over 25%. Some may even have a concentration of 70, but largely if we talk about those 30 seats, look how the BJP micromanaged those seats in the Jat areas. I gave you an example of Julana, and Pradeep will come in on that as well. Most of the Jat seats, you will see 10 to 12 independent Jat candidates, those who are standing. I will give you another example of Kalayat seat, which was possibly the bone of contention between the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress, where in Kalayat, there are two independents, those who are very strong. Their Khaps, the Dhoon Khap, have supported the independents, and which has chipped away essentially the anti-incumbency vote away from the BJP and has made the BJP at this moment reckoning in the Jat belt as well. Pradeep, please go ahead.
See, absolutely, Ankit. In fact, these are micro issues which you're talking about, but I want to talk about a macro point. Generally, the trend of anti-incumbency has been said that a party, if it rules for 5 years or 10 years, a trend of anti-incumbency establishes. If you look at the Bharatiya Janata Party, and not just Haryana, across states, we are the only party which has the tendency to repeat government. The Congress Party has not repeated a single state government since 2011. It's the Bharatiya Janata Party, whether it is Madhya Pradesh and now Haryana, where we are creating a history, we have the tendency of repeating governments, which means this whole larger political analysis that if a government governs, there is a trend of anti-incumbency which establishes. This does not apply to us, because under Prime Minister Narendra Modi, if you see every state government, we've repeated the maximum. So it will be right to say that the more the BJP governs, the more the pro-incumbency also can set in and is settling it.
Okay.